busy preparing for Santa's flight. All the little reindeer were competing in the reindeer games. There was the wreath toss, the snowball single shot, and everyone's favorite game, the six-legged race. The games were a North Pole introduction, and every little reindeer joined in. Well, every little reindeer except for one, Rodney. While the other little reindeer were busy tossing, shooting snowballs, racing, and playing, Rodney made his way to Santa's stables, where Santa's sleigh reindeer were getting ready for their big trip. Hi, Dancer. Can I help you get ready for Christmas? Rodney asked. Sorry, Rodney, you're just too little. Why don't you go outside and play? Thought Rodney. He did like playing games, but he really wanted was to help everyone get ready for Christmas. It was his favorite day of the year. I don't want to play, Rodney said. I want to help.
There's a lot of words in this book.
Okay, said Rodney, looking dasher as usual. Can you polish the jingle bells on our harnesses? That should keep you busy for a while. So Rodney worked very hard, polishing each bell until he could see his reflection in it. While he worked, he imagined he was one of Santa's sleigh reindeer with his own harness of shiny jingle bells. All done, Rodney said with pride. What else can I do? Why don't you go see Santa's elves? Asked Cupid. As she put her makeup on, we have to get ready to fly.
I didn't know they wore makeup.
So Rodney went to Santa's workshop. Everywhere he looked, there was something to see. Mountains of toys, something to see. Mountains of toys, huge sheets of wrapping paper, giant spools of ribbon, and more enormous bags overflowing with presents. All the elves were busy. Surely they could use some help. Rodney tapped Pickles, the elf, on the shoulder. He looked like he was in charge. Psst, Pickles, can I help? Ack! You scare me, Rodney. No, you're too little, and we're too busy. Why haven't you joined in the reindeer games? I don't want to play games, Rodney said sadly. I want to help. Okay, Pickles said. But be careful. An elf's work is very serious business. If any of these presents get mixed up, there are going to be some very sad boys and girls on Christmas morning. So Rodney worked very carefully beside Santa's elves. He tapped, he tied, and he watched every single present make its way down a long assembly line to the exact right giant bag.
Whoa.
When all the gifts were wrapped and bagged, Rodney was jumping with excitement. We're done. What else can I do? But the elves were exhausted. Why don't you go see if Miss Claus needs help with the sleigh? Asked the very tired Pickles. We need a break. So Rodney went to Santa's garage, where the North Pole penguins were just starting to load the presents into the sleigh. Rodney had never been this close to Santa's sleigh before. It was beautiful. Miss Claus, ma'am, he said nervously, May I help, please? I'm sorry, Rodney, but you're too little to lift such heavy bags. Plus, it's getting awful windy and icy out here. Why don't you go back inside the workshop and get warm? But I really want to help, Rodney pleaded. All right, Rodney. Let me see. Santa already made his list and checked it twice. But why don't you check it a third time? Make sure every child's present is in the right bag, headed to the right place. Miss Claus handed Rodney Santa's official list. This was very serious business. So present by present, bag by bag, Rodney checked and checked until he had checked off every name on Santa's list. When he was finally done, Rodney handed the list back to Mrs. Claus. What else can I do? He asked angrily. The presents have all been loaded, Miss Claus replied. That means it's nearly time for takeoff. Now quickly, Rodney, run out and see.
Oh, he's taking off.
All the same time every year, Santa's 8 reindeer pull in his sleigh, piled high with toys, all the way to a very edge town where it takes off for its flight around the world. Rodney watched it and waited until Santa's reindeer appeared two at a time, with their harnesses of shining jingle bells. And then there was Santa. The frosty wind blew his bristly white beard and made his plump cheeks as rosy as peppermint candies. Then, all of a sudden, over the cheers of the crowd came a great kerchunk. Santa's sleigh stuck a piece of ice in the path. The big bags of presents bounced out of the sleigh, spilled open the scattered boxes and bows. All the snowy ground, Santa's list flew out of his pocket, swirled up in the wind, and flew up, and away.
Oh, man.
Main Street grew very quiet. The reindeer stood as still as statues. The elves bit their fingernails. The penguins hid their eyes. Santa looked at Miss Claus. Miss Claus looked at Santa Claus. Oh, Santa, she cried. What a mess without your list. How will you know what presents to go? All those poor boys and girls will be so disappointed if they don't get their gifts they asked for, and they've been so good all year. Just then, a little cheerful voice came from the very silent crowd. Miss Claus, Santa, I can help. No, Rodney, you can't help, said Miss Claus. No, not this time. But I can, he said, because I know where the presents go. I helped the elves wrap every one. I sorted them into the bags. I triple-checked Santa's list. I remember. That one's for Sarah in Pleasanton's. It's a book. And that's for Peter in Riverside. It's a red race car. Well, Rodney, it looks like you worked very hard today, Santa chuckled. Would you like to help one more time? Before Rodney could even nod his head, Santa scooped him up into the sleigh, and the reindeer began to trot, then gallop, then race with all their might down Main Street. The the ground disappeared below them. Rodney was high above Santa's stables, workshop, and garage. In garage were tiny specks in a field of snow. Rodney was flying. Together they flew from roof to roof, neighborhood to neighborhood, country to country, thanks to all his hard work. That day, Rodney was able to tell Santa exactly where to go. With Rodney's help, Santa delivered Mason's model train, Brian's art set, Riley's roller skates, Joshua's fishing pole, and thousands more. We went down every chimney of every house until every present in every bag was delivered. That's it, Santa Rodney shouted. We're finished. We did it. Actually, there's one more present left,
What?
said Santa with a wink. He reached his big gloved hand into his fuzzy coat pocket and pulled out a little box with a big green bow, and inside was a shiny silver jingle bell, just like the one Santa's sleigh reindeer wore. It's for you, Rodney, my little helper.